Hello student. So let's have discussed about the data link layer next properties, which is a CSMA-CA. In the last lecture we learned about the CSMA-CA, which is nothing but the carrier send multiple access collision avoidance. Today we are going to learn about the collision detection, which is nothing but a CSMA-CD. This is also a network protocol for carrier transmission of data in the MAC layer. It sends or listens whether the shared channel for the transmission is busy or not, and defer the transmission until the channel is free. It is in the CSMA-CA we could not sense or listen the channel, but for avoidance the collision in the CSMA-CD we just sense the or listen the shared channel transmission, whether the channel is free or not. The collision detection technology detects the collision by sensing the transmission from other station. It helps in this protocol. They take the help of other channels to sense the collision between the channels. So because of that, collisions are not happen. On the detection of a collision, the station stops transmitting and sending the data, or jamming signals are not happen. The basic difference between CSMA-CA and CSMA-CD is CSMA-CA is a preventive measure for collision avoidance. But in the CSMA-CD, if the collision happens, then the collision detection mechanism is used to avoid the jamming signals and waits for the random time interval before the transmission is happen. So now we understand. So let's have discussed the actual algorithm of CSMA-CD. When a frame is ready, the transmitting station checks whether the channel is idle or busy. This step is very similar to the CSMA-CA. That before sending a frames, the algorithm first checks whether the channel is ready or idle or busy. Next is, if the channel is busy, the station waits until the channel becomes idle. This step is also same in the both the algorithm. Third thing, that if the channel is idle, the station start transmitting and continually monitor the channel to detect the collision. In this step, if the channel is idle, sender just sends the data and he just monitors till the data is received by the receiver. If between the sender and receiver, whether the collision is happened, they detected by the channel with the help of other channels. Next thing is, if a collision is detected, the station starts the collision resolution algorithm. This is the fourth step, which is important, which is exceptional case compared to CSMA-CA. In this, we just use, in the CSMA-CD, we just use a collision resolution algorithm, which is not used in the CSMA-CA. The station resets the retransmission counter and completes the frame transmission. If the collision is happened in the between channels, then what the actual algorithm does is he just restart or retransmit all the frames which are not sent to the receiver side. So let's have discuss about the collision resolution algorithm. What happened actually in the process? The station continues the transmission of the current frames for the specific time along with the jam signals. If the collision is happened, then what type of resolution algorithm is used, that we are going to discuss here. In this, if the station continues transmission and they find that in some transmission channel there is a jam happened, or there is a collision happened. What they did, they just retransmit all the frames with the jam signal to ensure that all the other station detect the collision. It means I am going to send a data that a simply thing that four people are wants to talk with each other, but when one person starts discussion, then other three person are shut their mouth and listen the other the speaker who wants to speak. The same thing is used in the collision resolution technique. What they did, they just one channel sends the data along with the jam signals that I am going to send a data. With that, all other channels are stop their data transmission for the timer should before the till the timer should expire. The station increments the retransmission counter. By he just used the retransmission counter because he wants to understand whether the data is properly sent to the receiver or not. He just have to monitor, or he has a monitoring that each channel is passed or not, and with that the number of retransmission is increased. The maximum number of retransmission attempts is reach the station about the transmission. Otherwise, the station waits for a backup period, which is generally a function of the number of collisions. If the collision is happened, then what? They just use a backup period, stop uh, their transmission, and just for restart the algorithm for retransmission. This is the simplest thing that they use in the detection of collision. Uh, Through this algorithm detects the collision, it does not reduce the number of collision. Actually, it does not reduce the actual collision, but it just help us to send the data in the properly manner without happening a collision. It is not appropriate for large network performance. It just degrades the exponential when more stations are added. Obviously, when more people are start talking each other with a wide or big communication network, then no one wants to understand others communication. This was the major difficulty while the group discussion. So because of that, the large number of network performance degrades with this algorithm. Okay, so this is the algorithm flowchart to understand the actual algorithm flow. So today we are going and learn. Sorry. Today we are learned about the csmacd, which is a collision detection mechanism or protocol. So let's conclude today's lecture. csmacd is nothing but the carrier cell multiple access collision detection. It is a network protocol. It is help us to detect the actual collision happen in the network. It help us to find out the collision in the network with the help of channel stations. Second thing is actual algorithm. In the actual algorithm, frame is ready to send if the channel is idle. Otherwise, if the channel is busy, the session waits for the channel become idle. After finding the channel is idle, the station starts transmitting and continually monitors the channel to detect the collision. He just checks whether the data is properly sent by sender to receiver side or not. If the collision is detected, session start the collision resolution algorithm. Collision resolution algorithm is used in the CSMA-CD. After finding the CSMA-CD that collision is happened, collision resolution algorithm is uh, started. Next thing, collision resolution algorithm. In this algorithm, station continues the transmission of current frame from the specific time. It starts frame with the help of by attaching a jam signal to understand other channel that station is going to send the data from sender to receiver side. Station increments the transmission counter to understand how maximum number of retransmission attempts in is reached, or we just abort if the transmission counter is not reached, or if the transmission find the collision, they just back up period time period is on and retransmission of data is started. The disadvantages of collision detection algorithm that it does not reduces the number of collision, and second thing is large network performance is degraded by using the collision avoidance collision detection algorithm. So this is nothing but the today's lecture. So I hope you understand today's lecture. So thank you so much.